Things we have never seen before, and not in a good way. I mean, how in the world is it possible that you are this bad at layups when you play basketball pretty much every single day?
The other night, drives it against Griner, another one. Foul is called.
Oh, and I'm still shocked by what happened here. First, look at it yourself.
Reese powers up and she's fouled.
So Angel Reese got the foul call. I would say this is an offensive foul. I mean, she literally headbutted her, but they call this a flagrant one on the defender. Angel Reese also stared her down after she headbutted her. Like, what?
Rolls to the rack, kick it out. Reese for three. Reese in the high post on an island against Miller. Angel Reese motors up.
And that three ball by her is special, man. This season, she's shooting 14% from deep. I really want to know what she works on in the gym, man.
Down, Reese missed it.
Angel Reese just had the worst week of her career. And Team USA noticed one for 12 shooting, 6 blocks against her, and a locker room that's reportedly done with the drama. But here's what nobody's talking about yet. What she said when she found out Caitlin Clark got named captain over her. For words, and they tell you everything about why she's likely getting cut. We'll get to that. First, let's break down exactly how bad this week really was for Ree, because it's worse than you think. From her horrible All-Star Game performance to getting owned by the Washington Mystics. Should Ree get a permanent ban from Team USA? This video is missing right now. How about a pray up into a me bound? There it is. Angel Reese going 25 in a 70. She got that flexibility of a steel pipe. Bang. Hang it in the. Leah Wilson blocked Angel Reese without even leaving the ground. She just stood there, raised her arm, and swatted the ball like Ree was a kid trying to dunk on a 9-foot hoop. That clip spread everywhere within hours, way faster than anything from the actual box score that night. And that's the problem for Ree right now. The plays that stick aren't the good ones. People aren't clipping her rebounds or her putbacks anymore. They're clipping the moments where she looks lost on a basketball court, and All-Star Weekend gave them plenty to work with. Because that block wasn't even the worst part of her weekend. During the same stretch of events, Reese tripped over her own feet during a warm-up drill and went down hard in front of a crowd full of cameras. Normally that's a nothing moment. Players fall all the time, nobody cares. But this time it turned into a meme within minutes because of who was sitting courtside watching it happen. Once that clip started circulating with jokes attached, it stopped being about one awkward fall. It became part of a pattern people were already building in their heads. That's really the bigger issue here, and those are two very different problems. A bad shooting night gets forgotten in a week. A reputation for being the player everyone laughs at doesn't go away that easy, especially when you're trying to convince a national team committee you belong on the biggest stage in the sport. Boots on the ground and in the air for the Washington Mystics. Shakira Austin that one down. With a full tank of fire right now defensively, look at this one. All with a big has been ferocious with it. And here's Angel Reese right here. And the ferocious block discipline, no body contact, all basketball on that play. Shakira Austin met her at the rim over and over and just took the ball away clean. Sonia Citron picked her pocket on the perimeter like she had a scouting report memorized. Every possession seemed to end the same way. Ree attacking, Ree getting denied, Ree walking back the other direction with nothing to show for it. This is the exact game tape USA Basketball had in front of them when the final roster decisions came down. Not the memes, not the betting headlines, the actual performance against Washington. And what happened next when the roster got revealed and the captain got named is where things got a lot more personal for Ree. When USA Basketball announced the roster, Caitlin Clark's name came with a title attached to it, team captain. Not just a starter, not just a headline name, the actual captain picked ahead of players who've won Olympic gold medals and built entire careers as leaders in this program. That's not a small call. USA Basketball doesn't hand out captaincy like a participation ribbon. It's usually something you earn through years of showing up for this program, through veteran standing, through being the person other players look to when things get tight in an international game. USA Basketball has announced the roster for the FIA Women's World Cup. She's joined by reigning WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson, Angel Reese of the Atlanta Dream, and Dallas Wings star Paige Bueckers. Here's a look at the full roster. Clark will be playing with her Fever teammate Aaliyah Boston. We have plenty of Las Vegas aces. Besides Wilson, there's also Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young. Other veterans making the trip include Brianna Stewart and Kelsey Plum. That's how it's worked for years on this team. The captain is normally the oldest head in the room, someone who's been through multiple Olympic cycles and knows how USA basketball operates behind the scenes. Seniority mattered, tenure mattered, and rookies or newer additions waited their turn, no matter how good they were on paper. Clark skipped that whole line. She walked into a locker room full of established veterans and got handed the armband almost immediately, based purely on what she's done on the court this year and what she means to the sport right now. Some people heard that and figured Wilson was just annoyed a newer player jumped the line ahead of women who've been grinding for this program for a decade. Others heard something more pointed. An accusation that Clark's spot came from attention and marketing rather than pure basketball merit. Either way, the comment didn't cool things down. It added gas to a conversation that was already burning. You see who Phoebus is promoting. You see who Fever's promoting. Who's playing in Berlin? Track your team. They got the GOAT Caitlin Clark right here as the face of it all. As the face of it all, people. The WNBA can't seem to figure it out. Kathy Dinglebert can't seem to figure it out. A lot of people just seem to be so jealous and bitter, they act like they can't realize it and figure it out, but FIBA can. And somewhere in a locker room, Angel Reese sat there and heard Clark's name called first. Ree didn't say much in public, but according to people who were around the team that day, she said something in private that explains a lot more about her season than any stat line could. 4 words, I deserve it more. That's what's reportedly out of her mouth once the room cleared out a little. And you don't need much imagination to picture how that sits next to a week where she shot 1 for 12 against Washington and got blocked 6 separate times. Ree wasn't just disappointed, she came off entitled, like the captaincy owed itself to her regardless of what the season actually looked like on paper. The other question that anybody could ask about this World Cup team is how the hell and why the hell is Angel Reese on this squad? I mean, I knew she was a possibility, but come on. That reaction, more than the missed shots, is reportedly what's turning people inside the program against her. Coaches can live with a shooting slump. Teammates can live with a bad week. Her scoring hit career highs. Her shooting percentage climbed instead of dipped under the extra defensive attention. And her assist numbers kept going up, even as teams built entire game plans just to slow her down. Efficiency is the real story here. She wasn't padding stats in garbage time. She was doing more with fewer possessions than she ever had in previous seasons, which is exactly the kind of number front offices and national team committees actually care about. Then look at the awards piling up before the season even hit its middle stretch. Back-to-back Player of the Week honors don't happen by accident. That means 2 separate stretches where she outplayed everyone else in the league on a weekly basis. Stack that with Player of the Month in June, and you're not talking about one hot night anymore. You're talking about someone who's the best player in the league for a full calendar month. Those kind of numbers only Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade, Luka, Kate Cunningham have done it in the NBA. Always so polished. Now the players that we just read off the screen before we sent it out for that interview, you got Jordan, Wade, Donuch, Cunningham, but there's only one player on that list, now with Caitlin Clark on there as well, that it did it in under 30 minutes. Some of her games this year weren't just good, they broke actual league records. She's posted scoring nights and assist totals that put her name next to numbers nobody else in the league is touching right now. The kind of box scores that get pulled up months later as reference points. That's not vague praise, that's box scores people can look up and check for themselves. Then came Puerto Rico. The FIA World Cup qualifying tournament isn't some exhibition swing where results don't matter. Clark didn't just play well in that tournament, she got named tournament MVP, and along the way she set 14 separate records against international competition that plays a completely different style of defense than anything in the WNBA. MVP of the tournament is none other than Miss Caitlin Clark. It's undeniable the impact she's made on women's basketball, and here in Puerto Rico had quite the showing. Her debut with the senior team, the double-double with both points and assists. And in her senior debut, she wins the TISO MVP at the FIVA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament here in Puerto Rico. 14 records in one tournament is the kind of number that ends debates before they start. The Puerto Rico tape did a lot of the talking before the actual roster announcement ever happened. There's also the business argument, and it's not just marketing talk. Clark being the face of the sport right now is a real factor in how USA Basketball thinks about visibility, ticket sales, and global attention on women's basketball. A captain who pulls in more eyes brings more attention to every teammate on that roster, and that matters to a program trying to grow the sport internationally. Put Clark's efficiency numbers next to Reese's dip in production this year, and the gap speaks for itself. Without needing extra commentary. One player kept climbing while the defense adjusted to stop her. The other kept sliding while defenses barely had to adjust at all. Given the records, the awards, and an international MVP season with 14 new marks set in Puerto Rico, the captaincy wasn't a snub to anybody in that locker room. Setting a full tank of fire right now defensively. Look at this one. All gone with the big block inside spinning on Austin. No. Second chance. No. Canada. Oh, that was Citron. So cold out initials. Boom. Oh, ball. Girl Caitlin Clark is onto something. Now, when I say this woman is onto something, I mean she's really close to it. Really close. She could sniff it, she could smell it. She could even push that button. But instead, she like right next to it. And I'm talking about with her hoop shoes. These bad boys right here are just kind of mid, they really are. But one thing is saving them. One thing in particular, and it's the goddamn gradients. The gradient colorways are going to save this bad boy every single time. And the WNBA All-Star Weekend pair is nothing less than doing so. It's nothing less than great, it's nothing less than phenomenal. A gradient on this silhouette with these materials is a 97 out of 10. No big campaign push, no fresh content, barely a mention on their own channels anymore. That's not how a brand treats a shoe they still believe in. That's how a brand treats a product they're trying to let fade out quietly, without a formal announcement that admits it didn't work. Look at where the actual numbers sit, and the picture gets even worse for Reese. Clark's shoe carries projections of selling out almost immediately. The kind of demand retailers actually plan inventory around. Reese's shoe, meanwhile, is still sitting on shelves months after release. Not close to selling through, sitting in that markdown section where sneakers go once a brand stops caring whether they move or not. Yo Chad, Caitlin debuted her purple colorway of the Caitlin ones, bro. And the purple one, in my opinion, is harder than that yellow and blue one I did the video about. Bro, y'all cannot tell me that purple colorway isn't crazy. It's playing out in real sales numbers too. Reese watches Clark get the armband, and now she's watching Clark's shoe get the marketing budget she used to have access to. Same emotion, different arena, same result. There's real irony in this. Reese keeps generating headlines through drama, through falls and blocks and locker room leaks, while Clark's headlines are the ones actually selling product and building a business empire in real time. One name trends for embarrassment, the other trends for commerce. And companies notice which kind of attention actually helps them. Once the sponsors start pulling away like this, it stops looking like a shoe problem and starts looking like a roster problem too. If the brands don't want her, how long before Team USA feels the same way? Reese's spot on this roster is reportedly hanging by a thread, and everything points the same way. The airball nights, the "I deserve it more" comment, the shoe deal nobody wants anymore. It's what happens when talent alone stops covering for bad habits and worse attitude. Meanwhile, Clark, Cunningham, Hull, Boston, Mitchell, and the Fever Core roll into the 2026 playoffs with real momentum, real records, and a captain who earned it. Reese watches from the outside, wondering how it slipped away. Should Reese get a permanent ban from Team USA? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications, as we're bringing you all the action and top stories. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next.